What's up, guys? This episode is an exclusive podcast that I did with my good friend Davish. He asked me a lot of questions about myself, things I got going on. We talked about faith, fitness, life updates, health, and a bunch more. Let us know what topics you wanted to talk about next in the comments below, and I hope you enjoy this one.
No, but welcome to the podcast, bro.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for coming.
Can the camera see that you're barefoot?
No, dude, I just found this on my foot. Do you think that's...
Is that a tattoo?
Is that cancer or is that...
Whew.
It could be, right?
Dude, I've talked to some nurses that work at UCLA. They're saying so many people in their 20s and 30s that are like super healthy are just getting cancer.
But I think it's usually like skin cancer.
There's like a million cancers, aren't there?
Yeah.
Whew.
Like so.
I had I had a twisted nut like 2 years ago, and
Testicular torsion?
Yes, the torsion.
Did you get it untwisted?
Yes, and I had to have a woman do that to me, and they had to rub whatever they rub on an ultrasound for a woman. They had to lube up and do on my nut, and she had to untwist it. But I was so worried because the pain was there that I thought I had the testicular cancer. Knock on wood that I ever get that or don't.
That's not wood. That's glass.
Holy shit, I'm cooked. But yeah, no, I had the torsion thing. But honestly, bro. Even when I was in a basics of cancer class in college, they told us eating apples could give you cancer. So I'm actually terrified that could happen at any moment.
Yeah.
So that's funny because that's similar to when I had my appendix bursted and I was going to die in 2 days, but I got surgery immediately and didn't even know what an appendix was. But we'll jump ships with the nut thing. I was back home on the East Coast. Me and Ryan are both from Maryland. But I just remember when I woke up, I was like, everything was just tight. And I just remember for like the whole day, I was kind of just like moving my underwear around. I was like, it's not that. And then I genuinely that night, it was just within a span of 12 hours, like this is hurting really bad. And last resort was we should go to the ER, got it checked out. And yeah, they said the torsion. And I was like, oh, great. And then I just kind of laid there on my side and, you know, you have the old doctor come in, kind of look at that. And then I'm like, are we good? And then the lady rubbed the lube. And then, yeah, they had to like grab it and they untwisted it somehow.
Wow.
No surgery. Thank God.
Thank God.
It must have been a mild, but they did say, yeah, glad you caught this. It was already locked where it would have kept going or something. And I was like, bruh. But then with my appendix, this is 2023. I just remember I woke up and I went to take a shower and it felt like shards of glass were just in my lower abdomen. And so I sat down to take the shower because I couldn't even stand up. I was like, God damn. And then I couldn't still stand up. And then I tried to pee and it hurt so hard to like push the pee out. So I popped 4 Tylenols. Everything just disappeared. I said, whew, what whoopsie daisy. Went to the mall. It came back. I went into the bathroom stall and I'm like, whoa, like what is this? And then tried to pee again and it was like actually not burning, but like it hurt to push out the pee. And then I had somebody take me to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, all the doctors were trying to just clear me out of there quickly. They were just like, you're good, your vitals are good, this, that, give us a pee sample. And then I gave them the pee sample. I was like, yo, this hurts so bad to do. And then they were like, you're good. They really just telling me everything was fine. I started crying on the little table. I was like, yo, I'm in so much pain. They were like, all right, whatever, last resort, take this thing. I drank these 2 liquid sodas. They did another CAT scan or whatever it was. And they were like, oh yeah, your appendix is completely bursted. You're gonna have to go into surgery in 2 hours. And I was like, huh? What is that? And then I literally, I had surgery that night. My thing bursted. And then the doctor's like, yeah, if you didn't get surgery, the infection would have spread and you could have died in 2 days. And I was like, it doesn't even feel real. Like it made no sense to me.
Well, damn, I'm glad your nuts are good, bro. And
Thanks, bro.
I'm glad your appendix is.
And I hope you get your foot checked out.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the dermatologist tomorrow. Do you feel like you felt your 20s? Like, did you enjoy your 20s?
It's you know, in career wise, I think I'm very proud of just how hard I work, and I honestly treat every hour of the day like something needs to be happening. Whether if it's my downtime, it's like I know it's my downtime. I'm gonna ride this wave. If it's time to grind, it's grind time. But I think I don't know. I think was never the person like type to go out like that. But I do think like, there was a lot of things that I turned down in college and early 20s to just do the sacrifice for the work. But I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing because there is what's it called? Opportunity cost, or there's just a cost to everything. So yes, I was locked in my room 5, 6, 7 days a week for probably the first 3, 4 years in LA, 22 to like 25, 6. And I'm just like, well, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to have more freedom that I have now where I'm really going out and stuff. So, you know, I would say yes, I definitely did. I'm definitely living this dream where I do have this imposter syndrome at this point because it's been 10 years plus, or 11 years this year. It's been 10 years full-time making money on YouTube or just as a creator. And, you know, all the bricks that Ryan and I have built it's crazy that like we built something and that somebody's also consumed that for all these years. So when people come up to you and they were 10, now they're 20 or 16 and 26 or 7 and 17 now, it's like, wow, like it's all the stuff that was in me and Ryan's heads that we filmed in a room at places where nobody was watching us, but then all these people watched us. So yeah, I'm happy that I started at 18 when I had the most energy, and I still have really good energy, but just the craziness of just that wild obsession you have to have. And I think because Ryan and I are still passionate about videos, and just I think we're both just put on this earth to just create and entertain, that I don't think I'll ever get sick of this as long as I evolve and find the next thing that's going to make me happy. But I think obviously there's just the I wish I would have picked up another sport in the 20s. I wish I would have started working out earlier. I wish I would have ate better. I wish I would have applied some pressure on some other girls that I just let go and could have done. But I was like, well, I did truly just lock in on the work and did that. And I think there's still, I honestly, like you said, I feel like I'm looking my age now, and I feel way more confident now. And I just think that, there's just so much more to come still. So I'm not stressing.
100%.
But yeah.
I love that. I think about that a lot. I'm like, dang, like, I definitely could have gone and like played more sports or like traveled more, or like talked to more girls or whatever. But it's like, I feel like when we're in our 20s as a man and you're locked in on your mission, it's like, you're kind of doing it. You know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
better than, well, it's not better than, but at least instead of from 30 to 40 trying to build our thing, like we knew, and it's hard. Some people, I've had friends that are like, yo, bro, I'm just going to go to the Navy for 20, 30 years and I want to live off the pension benefits, all that. Because I genuinely don't know what my calling is, and I don't think I have any skills. Some people, I think, if you don't, and I think everybody can find something, but if you're truly not passionate about something and don't know, I think some people like to be told what to do and go work for somebody. And I think that's perfectly okay. And then, us, I guess we just found our calling when it happened, and we explored it and got into it as much as we could. And it worked well. But I think it's a blessing to have started. I think what I always tell myself is, damn, I wish I would have started at 11. Like, when I was like, me and Ryan were like 19 and we are kind of blowing up, and I'm seeing like these Jacob Sartorius or these little like 14-year-olds making. I was like, we should have, like, me and Ryan were watching Vines in high school, filming our skits, but we never thought to hop on Vine. I'm like, dude, we could have been Viners. But I think everything, works out. But I do think that, if you can find your calling earlier, at least just take the risk. I think your 20s is a great time to set that foundation.
Totally.
Because like Gary Vee says and stuff, like, that's the most time you're going to have, and the most time to make all your mistakes.
Yeah, with no baggage too. It's like, it's a time to sacrifice.
Yep, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And now I think I definitely I value relationships a lot more. And I think it worked out. Not saying I could have done it more then. It's just there was a sacrifice of when there's this one thing you want to work on. Yeah, I forgot to send some text to mom or hang out with some other OG friends or hit this person back. But, now that I've gotten to where I am, I feel like I'm really honing in on blossoming and like strengthening all my relationships with all the people that I care about. So, I think it just took a little bit more time, because I really had that ADHD obsessed personality, and Ryan noticed that very early on, and we both just like same wavelength and just were able to just have the powers when both worlds collided.
Yeah, I love that. So for the fans that don't know who you are, you're the co-founder of Love Live Serve, which is like a massive YouTube channel. You've been on YouTube for forever. And this Ryan guy you keep mentioning is Rhino, who's the other guy in Love Live Serve.
My best friend since I was 10 years old, his name is Ryan, a.k.a. Rhino on the internet. He got his nickname because his soccer coach always called him Rhino, running on the soccer field. We met when we were 10 years old in middle school. I remember he just had this bald, peanut-shaped head.
He was bald?
Yeah, he was bald in middle school. His parents just shaved his head. He always had his head shaven.
Okay.
And that's why he gets mad. He's older than I. He's like, bro, I didn't even know what a taper was or a low fade. Like, Ryan got all the hairstyles now. And I remember even when he was a junior in high school, he grew out that, like, I forgot who it was inspired by, but his hair got a little bit longer here, and he bleached it all blonde, but he did it at my house, and my sister did it for him because his mom would never let him go buy bleach. And then when his mom saw his hair bleached, she started crying. You guys already know how big I am on how I look, how I present myself, especially on camera. And I've been wearing this chain from GLD, and I'm not gonna lie, it just hits different. The quality is actually crazy. You can feel the weight, the details are clean, the way the stones are set. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It feels like a legit piece. And what I like about them is they figured out how to make high quality jewelry without it being insanely overpriced. A lot of brands either feel fake or they're taxing crazy.
Jersey. GLD sits right in that sweet spot. They got everything too. Chains, pendants, rings, watches. Whatever your style is, you can find something that fits you. And the confidence part is real. When you throw on the chain, your whole fit levels up. Plus, over 2 million customers, 50,000 5-star reviews, and they've got athletes and artists rocking their stuff too. And the best part, everything comes with a lifetime guarantee, so it's built to last. So if you've been thinking about upgrading your jewelry or just adding something to your rotation, now's the time. New customers get 50% off when you use code STRAWBERRY at GLD.com. That's 50% off at GLD.com with code STRAWBERRY. And when they ask where you heard about them, make sure you say our show sent you. Back to the pod.
It's like, what's wrong with my son? But no, me and Ryan met at 10 years old. We both were very passionate about YouTube, and back then there was probably only like 50 plus creators where like everybody collectively knew these were the YouTubers and stuff, like Niga Higa, Smosh, iJustine, Shane Dawson, blah, blah, blah. And I also was really big into magic 6th to 8th grade and did that all. That's how I met all my friends in high school, was doing magic tricks to everybody. But me and Ryan both had an obsession with magic, so we were doing magic tricks together. And then we just genuinely just hung out every day after school, not after school, on the weekends, and we just filmed everything. He had a brother that would film all his stuff, and Ryan would edit it. And then I had 2 sisters, so I would use them for videos. So we met each other. We were able to use each other for our videos. And then we went to separate high schools, and we just kept up with that. And yeah, once we got to college, Ryan was like, yo, we should go to this school called Drexel. It's in Philly. And I was like, I'm down. And then my parents were actually against it because they were like, just stay in Maryland. Just go to a school that's 30 minutes away and you can just stay home. And I never even like thought about what college to go to. I didn't care about like D1 or the sports or like a different state. I was just like, oh, I guess that's just the thing you do after 12th grade. But Ryan convinced me to go to Drexel, which was a film school. And once we went there, our major started right away freshman year. So we got to do our film major the first week of school versus like most colleges, you don't start till junior year. And then when me and Ryan realized, oh, we're done with class at 2 p.m. and we just synchronized our schedules and lived together all 4 years. Let's go film. We can film more videos now because that's all we did after school. And now that we're see each other every day, we would film. And then I still remember everything like it was yesterday. We filmed a video about hoverboards when those things were like first came out. That got us to like 4,000 subs. And then we made some reaction videos, got to 18,000, did some skits, got to 100,000. And then every year our channel grew, and we just locked in all 4 years, and we were just on go mode. And luckily by the end of our college career, we got to like 4 million subs. And then we got to move out to LA, and since then we've just still been able to just post videos and make it through. But shout out to Ryan, man. He definitely, we just very yin and yang, man. Like he was just always, I could turn the camera on, he just knew what to do. He just knew what to say. He would chicken scratch everything on a piece of paper, and it made my life easier because I'm like, I was just the guy, I like to just film anything. But then Ryan was like, we should film this. So when then he had the plan to film. I never had plans to film. I just would film stuff. So when he was like, film this, say this, I was like, oh, well, now I know what to put together because here's the script. We have all the footage, and I can edit it to match the script.
Wasn't there a third guy that came into the picture?
Yeah, then we have our third partner, Rob. We met him in 2017 at a VidCon. VidCon is where all the YouTubers congregate once a year to meet their fans. And we met him, and that guy was super cool. We saw him posting videos, and he had the same mindset as me and Ryan, where like, this guy really takes content serious. And then when me and Ryan graduated college, we told him to quit his job and move into our apartment. And we had 3 bedrooms. We moved in, and then he took his channel from 500K to 2 million with us by himself. And I was like, that's why we knew, like I knew with everything he was juggling, if I take him out of that environment, I know he's a creative like that. And then we birthed our second channel called Strawberry Park. And now we have Love to Serve, which is just me and Ryan, and then Strawberry Park, which is me, Ryan, and Rob. And he's just a great addition, great humor. He's so witty, quick off the dome. And it's just fun.
What was the first moment with Level of Serve that kind of like you were like, oh shoot, like this is gonna go crazy? Like was there like one of the videos that popped up?
Yeah, I definitely. There's all these like tiers where stuff happened. I would say around 50K subscribers. We did some skits on those rappers that were blowing up, like Lil Uzi, 21 Savage, and Ryan was able to just look like all of them. So we would just put Twizzlers on his head to be Trippie Redd. We'd put face tats to look like Lil Uzi. We put the cross on his head to look like 21 Savage, and those got us from like 50 to 100K. And then we got to 400K doing skits. So it was all these like parody of rappers, and then we did a series of like just types of, so types of people at the gym, types of people in the drive-through, types of people at school, types of people in the hallway. Those relatable videos did well. And then the big one that everybody knows is the library pranks in 2017. Yeah, we saw a guy on our campus blasting embarrassing music in the library, and he was playing like Dora the Explorer, I'm a Barbie Girl, and me and Ryan were like this is funny, but I'm like, what? There's something missing here. It's like too wholesome. And then we're like, what if we played raunchy, ghetto, just like sexual absurd music? And there was some artists at the time. I literally just typed in gay hip hop, and then there was like this guy that remixed every rap song with gay lyrics. And then there was a woman named Cupcake. Oh man, she's a very sexual, very liberated in her sexuality, and she had all these crazy songs about deep throating and blah blah. And we played those in a library, and those took off. And I think the other kid got mad because he saw our series kind of go bigger, but it's like we took the inspo and kind of remixed it, but the library pranks took us from like 700K to like 2 million in like a year. So I remember the library pranks were really big. Once I saw like 30,000 subs coming in a day, I was like, me and Ryan were texting each other. I was like, dude, this is absolute insanity. And we knew while the library pranks were happening, we always had the thought of, well, we don't want to be full-time pranksters. Like, we don't have balls like Nelk. I don't have balls like Cassidy Campbell, but we want to do this. But because there's these new viewers come in, we constantly would have like this 3-to-1 ratio, post 3 types of videos that we've already been posting up till this point, and then post the library prank that everybody wants every week. And we just kept doing our skits, interviews, whatever style, and then we would throw in the pranks.
So tell me about like before you met Rhino, like was it always in your brain like y'all want to make videos, or like what did you, as a kid, like what were you thinking about?
Yeah, it's let me go back to that. Yeah, so my parents both worked at the Pentagon, so they both were just these government. Shout out my parents, they're very just robotic and stiff. Like, they're not funny, they have no swag. We would eat dinner quiet, nobody would speak. Like, I was just very confused on like, I don't know. And then it was like meeting Ryan and like just other friends that like have personalities, and we're just not the same. My parents don't have personality. They're just very just to the point, very ordered. And I think that's where I got my discipline for my work ethic. It was like, you do this, repeat. So I just always just kind of had this like innate nature to just follow the rules and stay within the lines. And as a kid, I just vividly remember like Spider-Man's, Batman's. My dad would show me what are all those just old classic 70s, 80s films, Weird Science. And I would just like watch these movies, and I was like, this is amazing. And then I would be on YouTube probably from 7 to 10, and I would just watch BTS of just how movies were made. And I was so fascinated with a green screen or a camera or the actors going from fully da-da-da-da. All right, what's the next take? I was just like fascinated with the switches that they turned on and off. And then I always would like just dress up as characters. I'd put like the Batman outfit on and then watch the movie and like reenact it. So I was always fond of that. And then there was a specific YouTuber named SuperMac18. He was like my age. And this is probably now at 10, like right before I met Ryan. And he was making videos in his room just lip syncing. But I remember like a Nickelodeon, they had a Nick at Night segment. And this kid, SuperMac18 Mac, that was from YouTube that I was watching, was on the TV talking about how he made $3,000 a month and he's going to save up for college and just do YouTube full time. And I just remember being a kid like, wait, this kid was from the screen to there. Same with Fred. Fred, the guy with the high squeaky voice. And then I saw him in a movie he was on a Nickelodeon thing and then made it into like a Victorious episode or whatever, iCarly or something. Yeah. And I was such a YouTube fan at a young age that I saw a lot of people that were my age or like maybe 15 even when I was 10, and I just looked up to them like, how did these guys go from their house to now TV or like in Zoomies or Hot Topic? And I was just like, I want to do what they did and like make stuff. And I remember when my parents got my first laptop with a webcam at like 9. I just filmed myself talking and I just downloaded, or it had the Windows Movie Maker software, and I would just edit stuff, and then I would copy scripts from like Scream and try their transcripts or Spider-Man, and I would just reenact the scenes with my cousins or friends that came over, and I would just edit that. So just a big fan of just movies and YouTube really early on.
How do you, because you definitely like built up, I think, a really strong like personal brand within this like creator economy, like YouTube world. Do you think that's going to be hard to translate when you decide to like, I want to go be an actor or like, you know what I'm saying? Like do mainstream stuff?
So Ryan's actually been offered some big roles. He got offered to do the role of that Bel Air show that like blew up. They told him though, and this is when we were already in LA fully grinding, but you have to be in Philly for 9 months and we have to every day, 3 hours, have to cover up all your tattoos you'll do this. And Ryan was like, well, we're like, how are we going to do the videos? And they were like, and the sets are going to be X amount of time, this many days a week. And I was like, Ryan turned that down because he's like, I'd rather keep the thing that we already built that has this amount of followers and did that. That kind of made us be like, I think it's very powerful to just have your own personal brand. If I always would want to do a cameo in a horror movie and just die in the first 5 minutes. I want to be this guy that everybody hates and I die and it's satisfying. I'm going to manifest that. Yeah. I just so badly just want to get deleted in a horror movie.
Funny. But I could see you in one of those like where the college kids like go into like a horror house. They play like Truth or Dare or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those. I could definitely see.
I would love that. Or I would want to be a cringe bully, or like I want to be somebody that like I pick on somebody, or I'm an asshole to somebody, and somebody just gets like I just get got or suffer some way, and it's just like satisfying. I don't know. That's just this weird vision I have.
I saw you with the Zila Run Club actually a couple months ago.
Oh yeah,
at the one over there. But so you've been doing this whole fitness thing too. How did the body transformation stuff with Zila come?
Yeah, straight up, there's a picture of Ryan Reynolds at 27 years old. It's him like walking on the beach. He's like fucking shredded. I've looked at that photo since I was like 20, and I was like, dude, I've had this thing, if I don't get shredded by 27, like there's a problem. And I always told myself all my early 20s, I'm gonna get shredded or I'm just gonna be fit and eat healthy. Never did that. I ate everything completely bad. I have the worst sweet tooth in the world. I would eat brownie sundaes, dessert, snacks, cookies, donuts, 5 days a week, literally from 20 to 26, like bad. On top of fried food, at least one takeout a day, never cooked until I got to like 24 years old. Like actual cooked meals, not like just scrambled eggs, like actual meals. Yeah. And I noticed once I hit 26, because 25 I was even lean because I was boxing really, really heavy. I was about to do a YouTube boxing fight, and then they showed me the opponent, and I was like, I got to pull out because that guy's way too good. Can't say it because we're friends now, and I just don't say it. I don't want to say it, but I'll say it off camera. But that guy ended up knocking out the person first round, and I was like, they wanted me to be that guy's knockout. And I didn't like that. And I was like, and I saw his tapes. Some people can see tapes and be like, they have the delusional confidence. I had logistical, I was like, this guy's done 6 YouTube fights already. This is my first one with 4 months of experience. This isn't fair. Yeah. And then I watched him knock out the guy in 30 seconds, and I was like, bro. But anyways, so 26, I remember I was still working out 3 times a week, eating whatever. And I noticed the face was getting puffy. The body was just staying at this size. And I was like, okay. And I could feel the sluggish and mental toll, and I actually could feel myself projecting my irritation of my whatever I deemed as my weight as my problem to like my friends or girls I was talking to, or even Ryan or Rob. And I was like, it's because I wasn't happy with the version of myself I was looking at. And I could feel myself being like always like being a little bit more uptight about things. And I noticed out my hormones and stuff. And then it was like right when I turned 27, Anuj had asked me like, yo, you got any goals you want to do for next year? And I was like, it was 2 weeks before I saw, this is in end of 2024, I saw Marco, he's the painter on YouTube. He's very, very talented. He did a 90-day transformation, and that guy's like not athletic at all, or like didn't come from a background. He was actually chubby his whole life. And then when I saw him get fit, I said, okay. I remember I just jumped off my seat. I was like, I'm doing this. I needed that, and I think I needed that push. And then I truly needed an accountability partner. I was like, I want to do a transformation. And then Noosh hooked me up with Ilya from Zila. And then on the call, he was like, what's your background? I was like, I just eat really bad, and I truly think if you're holding me accountable to work out every single day, and you're checking what I'm eating every single day, I will have no excuse but to kill these bad habits. And he was like, cool, let's start tomorrow. And I said, let's go. I locked in. And the second that I did the first workout, I was like, I'm committed to this. And I did that for 4 months. It was like 120 days straight, 30, 60 minutes of cardio every day, hour of weights, eating the same meal prep, but I enjoyed it. And once I cut out the sugar or like all the takeouts that I didn't eat, and not saying like you can definitely balance life, but it was like I was every day, like I'm telling you, every day, bad.
Yeah.
And then once I got to where I got, I'd never seen abs my whole life, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Not that you need abs, but just to get there for myself. It was like such a mental thing, and all these mental things just like I felt so good about myself. And then the second the transformation was over, crash diet, bounced back within a month. And that because I did this thing in my head where I was like, once I get there and I post this photo of me from before and after shredded, I'm going to eat crumble cookies and I'm going to scroll through the comments, everybody gassing me up. So I like already was like forcing myself to look to the end to like reward myself. And I remember the first 7 days right after the transformation, I ate like Popeyes again, fried food, all this. And I remember on like day 8, I lifted up my shirt. I was like, are you kidding me? The abs just went away just like that after 120 days. And I'm like, your fat cells are like trash bags. They just sit there waiting for you to fill them up. So it doesn't matter if you eat clean for 3 years straight. 2 months off, they're back. Like they're just ready to fill back in. So and then I did a really weird yo-yo diet effect or yo-yo thing where after those 8 days, I ate clean for 8 more days, bounced back. And then I did 16 days eating bad, then 20 days eating clean, went back. And I did this really thing where I was kind of able to go from shredded to that. And then all July to October last year fell off the rails. I worked out still, but I just ate everything under the sun. My body fat went back up again. And then December came around. I was like, it's time to lock back in again. And then for me, and I think for most people, it's literally just the foods. And I think that is the hardest part because all these foods have all these addictive things that make you want to eat it again and again and again. And oh my gosh, they taste so amazing. I can't lie.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about your sleep. Are you big on sleep?
I got to get better, man. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm so self-aware of all my bad habits.
Yeah. What are your like top like 3, 4, 5 bad habits right now? You using like
doom scrolling when I lay down. I just cannot stop watching Instagram reels, man.
Yeah.
I laugh my ass off. And it'd be the dumbest stuff. Like, it'd just be...
Yeah, but that's also part of your business. Like, you got to, like,
True, because I'm also getting inspired. Yeah. I laugh, go to my notes, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That, let me think my other one. I need to get better at cleaning my house weekly. I think I'll let 2 to 4 weeks go by, and then I have all these little dust bunnies, and I put off this stuff because I'm like, so I got to wake up, and I got to work out, and I got to do my work. But I forget to do just the self-cleaning or just like self-care days. I don't do enough of those.
Yeah.
And it's a doom scrolling for sure. I'm like a Mr. Krabs.
Did you get into the Zins at all?
Like meditation?
No, the Zins, like the Zen. Oh, it's good that you don't even know that. I don't even want to tell you about it.
No, I don't even know. Good. I do have a very addictive personality. So when people are like, yo, hit this vape, I'm like, this girl I talked to or other guy I talked to, they've been doing it for 12 years plus and can't stop. I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that. And then somebody's like, I've been at EDM festivals, like, yo, hit the bump. I'm like, where did you get that? Like, I want to know, is this even late? Like, what do you, because then I have girls that are like, yeah, I took Coke before, but it was laced with this, or I took ecstasy, but it was actually with this. And I'm like, dude, I cannot put something in my body that I don't know what's going on. And my personality is too addictive where I think I stay away from that stuff because I just don't know. Even people are like, bro, if you took Adderall, you would get your videos edited in a day over 3 days. Not gonna lie, I said, hold on now, what? Where do you get that from? They're like, well, it's prescribed. So if you actually don't have this proper ADHD, you can't just get it. But then I looked up on chat or just Googled it, and it was just like, yeah, you might edit good for a couple of days, but then the side effects are you might have this jittery anxiety stuff, and I don't want all that. Stuff, I to this day still don't really know how you feel anxiety. I feel stressed all the time, and I'm like, is that anxiety? But I hate because I'm like, yeah, I'd be stressed, but I don't know when to label something where I'm like, or is this anxiety?
Have you been through anything like traumatic?
Luckily, no. So maybe that's why. Like I have friends that are full blown stoners, but they function great. They can wake and bake, go to their job, do their work, and they're good.
Yeah.
And those friends that I know have been through a lot of stuff, and I don't get mad at them. Like, you definitely, maybe you need that to mask that stuff, or you need to forget that. Yeah, your father passed away as a kid. This happened to you as a child. This person did something to you. You went through this. You got into that accident. So I don't know. And then even when I came off my appendix surgery, like, yeah, I had some painkillers that definitely felt good, but once I felt normal, I was like, well, I don't need these anymore.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't done any of those type of vices. No.
That's good. What so you seem like you're very like locked in, like disciplined, like you wake up, you get after it. Do you have like a spiritual practice that keeps you like internally solid, or like
I've been telling myself I need some backbone of faith all year, all last year and this year, and I grew up Catholic, but my family didn't do the stuff at church in the household, so I didn't resonate with it because it's like, all right, we have to go to church, get up, we have to go. And we go to church, and I was an altar boy for like 17 years. So I'm holding the cross, I'm on stage. I zoned out every single church, I couldn't recall one thing from the Bible. Went to Catholic school up until 5th grade. I can't recall anything.
Yeah.
And it just felt like I had to do it. And I remember I was like in 2nd grade, we're all holding hands, reading these prayers off the rosary. And we have to go in this confession box and tell the priest all the bad things we did last week. And I was like, why does that guy got to know my bad secrets? So I'd go in there and lie to him. Like, oh, I stole $20 out of my dad's pocket. Okay, that'll be 5 Our Fathers, and then you'll be good. And I was like, that's it. And then we'd be, I don't know, when we would say the rosary and stuff, it just felt like a cult sometimes. But I think it was, we would go to church, but then we wouldn't say grace before we'd have food. So I was just kind of always confused. Like, why are we going to this thing on Sunday, but the household isn't, I don't know, we have the cross hung up, but we're not doing stuff. So but then the older I get and just like, obviously the way the universe works and the way how we're all just conscious and the way that you can see my face, but I really don't know what my face looks like. I see a mirror, but my face to him probably looks different than your face to me, and like everybody else, or the version of you that you see me, other people, like it's incredible that like how is this? We're all synchronized and seeing through stuff. I would love to be 10 toes on a religion at one point in my life, but I also definitely would love to spend more time like just being grateful, whether that's even talking to myself or a higher up. But I truly believe there's a higher up. I truly believe there's some frequency going on. Like same way with the gut feeling, or like you're singing a song in your head and then the guy across from you is singing a song. I'm like, how the hell does that happen? Did I pass it to him? Did he pass it to me? Is that just, what are the odds? Obviously, when everybody has their coincidences lined up in their life, I think some things are just too good to be true. And I truly think I can be a little bit less stressed and relaxed if I can lean into some form of spirituality. What about you? Are you heavy?
Christian? Yeah.
Okay. And are you going to church every week?
Yeah.
Are you reading the Bible every day?
Yes.
Wow. And you know what's crazy? I think every person I've met that is leaned in to whichever religion they picked tend to be very happy and focused and disciplined too. Obviously, same way you're able to do this many podcasts and continue to do all these other endeavors that you do outside of this. I'm like, I notice a lot of my Christian friends that are heavy into it have this like outlook of like everything will be okay because he's got my back, or God, whatever, however you view it. And I'm like, or my Muslim friends are like, yeah, because at the end of the day, I know he's kind of watching over, making sure I'm on the right path, looking over me. My Jewish friends, this or that, and I'm like, I need to. If I could wake up and just feel that, or And here it's the weird thing of I'm like I have to be open-minded and go into it like this is gonna be the, I don't know. I don't have the words for it because I think right now I'm telling myself I have to hypnotize myself to believe somebody is gonna tell me everything's okay. But I think I just haven't educated myself enough on enough things. And I have this weird thing in my head where I'm like, okay, what if I grew up in a black room with nothing, and my whole life I learned no languages, no nothing, and then I live, eat there, and then die at whatever, old age? Which heaven do I go to? Where do I go? I didn't get to learn anything. I don't even know words. Am I just this empty soul that just goes into the abyss sea of the afterlife, if there is one? Like, does which God accepts me? And same thing with if I grew up Jewish, I grew up Muslim or Christian, it's like, well, everybody thinks theirs is right. So it's like, how do you, but then nobody ever steps on anybody's toes, but then everybody's like, no, mine is right over this one. So it's like I'm like, dang, I don't, and then everybody gets divided and it's interesting, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know how to just pick one. So that's why I'm like, how can we all just I'll just believe in the one God if there is just one, and it's the same one everybody will be just praying to. I just want to believe in something, the higher power, and then just hopefully everything goes in. But if I don't have the books or teachings or rules to follow, that's where I'm in this loose game where like, I have no structure to it. So then that's why my spirituality is pretty much zero to nothing right now. But because I'm all stressed, I think if I was truly picked one and was all in on it, I'd be very much happier. Like Ryan tells me he's Christian, but I haven't seen him go to church once. So I'm like, it's like you say it, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
What do you think happens after you die?
That's been my most fascinating thing since 12 years old. I've only watched videos about that. Anything afterlife, I've watched every single video.
What have you gathered from those videos?
Man, it goes, you get the Neil deGrasse Tyson. You literally, your brain's off. There's no consciousness. That's it. And you go into the ground, the worms eat you, and your energy is there, but your consciousness is gone. And then there's the universe is like an ocean. Like we're just like a cup of water, and then you get poured back into the ocean, and you go back, and then other people you go to just see all your loved ones. I don't know, but then I remember at 13, I had this really weird thing where I'd walk outside in circles, spinning like, forever? Shoot, that sounds like a long time, just forever. And then I don't know, I have a weird thing where, okay, if I died at 6, am I 6 for eternity? If I died at 20, am I 20 for eternity? You get to go from a 6-year-old turn into this 28-year-old version of myself that I didn't even know up there? Are you forever at this? And then
Bill Nye the Science Guy also thinks there's nothing. So he's also another scientist where it's just like, okay, you're 84 with dementia. So your last 10 years, you don't even know who you are and then you die. But do you casually get to be all the memories of yourself as a 30-year-old? So I don't know. I struggle with this. I want there to be something. I want there. Oh my gosh, who wouldn't? And I don't. But then I'm like, if somebody hit me in the head with a hammer right now, and I turn into a vegetable, and then I'm a vegetable till 60, but I can't form conversation like this to you and anybody else. So then when I pass away, did I even really know I passed? I don't know. So I struggle with the physical problems you can have just with like ailments or physical injuries. But but then I'm just like, bro, when you close your eyes, you can't see anything. So then if my brain's off and has all my memories and that's deleted, I guess I wouldn't even know. I'm not aware of anything. But I would love for everybody to meet up and everything's great forever and ever. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. And that stresses me out all the time. I think about it all the time. Because I think about, am I going to be the guy who just walks outside and gets hit by a bus? Knock on wood. Or like, you work your, I have a lot of friends that are like super nice people and then they've passed away at such young ages. And I'm like, damn. And that was it for them? Like that was all it was supposed to be? That wasn't in the cards for their book. And I'm like, so, I think I do more of the Neil deGrasse Tyson put it, he said it, and I live off of this philosophy right now where it's because we aren't immortal, that gives every reason to do everything you want to do in your power because we have to expire at one point. So that gives me this motivation of like, it's a blessing to get older because some people don't make it past certain ages. Some people go through stuff. And the fact that you even get to age and get to learn more, you're older and slower, weaker, who cares? Like, just living is the prize to me. And yes, and I do believe if you do good, I think obviously just leaving a good impact is the best thing you can do. I think if I'm 96 years old, hopefully I get there and I'm super sore and all that, and I haven't been able, all my friends are gone, I've been able to go out and do an activity. I don't think I would mind passing away as much then versus right now I would like this thing. I would like some more materialistic things. I would like to travel here. I want to do this. I want to make more friends. I want to family, blah, blah. I think it's the death only scares me if it was taken away from me like now. I think when I'm like 80 plus, I think my outlook will be, hey man, I had a good time and my bones and my body doesn't even work. And I worked out super hard, but there's this injury in my hip and I'll never be able to do this certain thing that I want to do. And I think I'll just accept it. But I don't know if that's a bad answer or not.
It's a great answer, bro. It sounds like you have an open heart towards Lord, let's call it.
I'm very open-minded.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to be proved. I just want to hear every side. I love to hear everybody's theories.
You want to learn because you're curious.
Correct.
Yeah. But you're also, while you're figuring that out, it sounds like you just you have gratitude. So you're just like very grateful and you're living that.
Correct.
Which is great, bro. Me and Grant talk about this all the time. He was saying how and I don't want to misquote you, but it was like people that lean into God, it typically happens after something really bad happens. So they kind of need something to cling on to get out of it.
I see that.
And so because that's how I found God, was through a traumatic experience. Okay. So I understand that perspective. But I also think about let's say I didn't go through that. I think I would have been okay going through my life with just the gratitude perspective that I had. Because I think kind of like you. But then I'm like, when I went through that, I was like, the gratitude almost wasn't enough. You know what I mean?
I see that.
And so then there was this.
I have that feeling though right now.
Yeah.
I have I'm grateful and I still want to go, but I wish there were some rules that I did follow and I had I'm going to say the same thing. I do think I need a backbone of faith some point soon. I do. Yeah. I have been feeling this thing just more. And I don't know if that's because after pulling back on the grind, we're going to have to work no matter what till the end, and we're gonna there's always gonna be a problem. This is this. Cool. Let's take myself out of that, and then just I do think there's some type of faith that I need. But I would like to explore something soon.
Yeah.
So I'm open-minded. Yeah. But then people get mad at me. I'm like, well, what if I want to walk into a temple, a synagogue, and then a church? What if I want to do all that 4 or 5 times at different places? Is that wrong? What if I'm a sponge and I want to see which one I connect with, or do I just look at a whole bunch of spiritual practices and I don't follow just one book fits all? I don't know. There's also 3,000 religions. I don't know. But I also just I don't know. I think everybody that's their different religion, I see how when I talk to them on the personal level in the private rooms, everybody does low-key bash the other one just a little bit where it's totally. This is wrong here and this is why this was right. And then, some people don't believe in this thing on this, or I'm just like,
yeah.
And then that just frustrates me because then I don't want to be making decisions on my life like just because you're Muslim, I'm not friends. Just because you're Jewish, I'm not friends. Or just because you're this, I'm like, I see everybody as an individual, and unless you wrong me so badly to the point where I have to hate you, and that's such a hard feeling to have for somebody, then that's a bad person. So same with the religion. I view every religion as its own thing, and I don't know, I think
what kind of trips me out about religion is like, even if you're the most advanced person that like reads all the scriptures and you've even like listened or read about like 1,000 different religions and you know everything, even then you're human, so you have limited understanding. You can actually never really know what the truth is, and that is kind of what like freaks me out. It's like, you know, because I'm Christian, I believe that Jesus is resurrecting, all that stuff, but like I will never know for sure if that's actually true.
Very true.
You know.
Yep.
So,
but that's why it's faith. You want to believe it is that. But I mean, which is why this is what freaks me out. I think it's better before my last day to believe there's something, go all in on it, and I was right, versus there's nothing. And then even if there is nothing, it's like, well, it would have been nice. Because then I just have this pessimistic view, like nihilistic. What's the point? We're all just doing this. We're playing this game.
Yeah.
There's nothing after this. And then it's like, well, then you navigate life in a more down way. And I'm able to navigate, like you said, with the gratitude, but I see everybody that is 10 toes on their religion. They tend to be very happy. And obviously there's people that are Christian, but I'm like, I just saw you do that stuff. But they're the ones that I like are really, their morals are in place. Their intentions are all good. Yeah. I do see everybody a lot more happier. And I do see things go their way all the time, whether it's my Christian friends, Muslims, whatever. So when I see that, I'm like, oh, there's something I'm missing. And I do think I want to explore that eventually.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, if you ever want to talk about like God and stuff,
I'm down.
I'm with that.
Down
for sure.
I love that.
Well, dude, so I appreciate you coming out. What's my last couple things? What's next for Nobo? Like, how do you see the next couple years playing out for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with YouTube is like everything's so unknown. So like people are like, what are your 5 years goals? I'm like, I'm trying to figure out which video to upload next week. But no, I think for this year, right now, I want to just go back to the drawing board on the content. Me and Ryan are obviously 28. Want to figure out new formats that fit our age and our character and our identity at this point. I think I'm going to change in the next 2-3 years again. Yeah. And make some new refreshing content that the viewers can cling to. And then I would love to get back into our clothing brand or another type of product that really resonates with me. Not something to make money off of, but like it makes sense. Me and Ryan are this thing, and this thing represents us. And to have something else to like beyond us, because like the creators that do it right and have their thing, I'm just like, damn, that's so cool they were able to build that. So
like Prime and like
Prime, like Joyride, the Happy Dad. So, but definitely the videos. I think I just want to go all in on the content, and I really want us to hit 10 million subscribers, hopefully this year, but in the next 2, because YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, the short form has kind of made the long form harder to grab the attention because everybody's doing that. But then everybody that tells me, no, you just got to make better videos, I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just do that. But I want to get 10 million subscribers. And I think I really want to be some brand athlete for a company, whether it's Young LA, whether it's Gymshark, whether it's my own, I don't know. Yeah. I'm so heavy into the fitness right now. And because of my obsessive like person or like the discipline with that, I know I'm gonna just do this forever now. Like I just am locked in, and I would love to help. I want to actually make a transformation video this year of me taking, whether it's a friend or a person or somebody through some like 4-6 month and be their accountability partner. I would love to.
That's sick.
I did it myself. I would love to do that for somebody, have them do it, and then that's like that impact. Maybe that will trickle down or snowball with something else. So the fitness stuff, I really want to do more fitness content and then get 10 million subscribers. And honestly, like I said, find a faith or be more spiritual, and strengthen all my relationships with all my friends I have, like on a deeper level, like just checking in with the boys or the grandma, mom, dad, just a lot more than I already have. And yeah,
love
that's about that.
That's awesome.
All over the place, but
no, that's great, man. That's a great, those are great goals. Any last advice for kids that are watching that you think would be helpful for them?
Yeah, I think nothing changes if nothing changes. So I think, and I also think everybody said it all the time. The time is going to pass regardless.
Yeah.
There's no
you're never gonna be ready. Like you just start. Like get up and just jump. Even if you don't know what you're doing. People are like, I gotta figure out this. No, just do it. Like if you want to be a creative, not everybody does. Do it. Don't just quit your job. Should I quit my job? Should I do this? No. Start doing it right now. Find out if you like to do it. If you want to go talk to that girl, just go talk to that girl. You're gonna regret it later. Like just like literally, because the best thing about getting rejected with a girl I've learned is the older you get. If you don't go talk to this girl that you like, or you talked to her a little bit and you didn't really know if she liked you all the way, the story never ends in your head. So you just loop this fantasy when it's better to be like, yo, do you like me or not? Do you want to go on a date? And she says no. And you're like, cool. The chapter closes. You can throw that away and move on. Or she says yes. Then you get your dream girl what you never thought you would have got. I think you just have to, you just got to take a lot of risk. That's my pretty much overarching goal.
Bars. Love it, bro. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Guys, go follow Noah. Is it at Noah Boat?
Yeah, just Noah Boat. Love the Serve on YouTube, Strawberry Park on YouTube, but just replay more of his podcast, actually. Just run these up.
Let's go. Come on. Get the numbers up, baby. Leave a review, subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next episode. Peace.